It is 5 with Freddy, and look, Brad, we try to stay as upbeat as we possibly can, but it's some dark days this week. It's been a heavy time for a lot of people in the game.
Absolutely. Hearing firsthand of friends who are obviously involved in the game. A lot of my friends are involved in the game with clubs, land, in the NRL, everywhere, and they've all been put off. So, that's the reality of what we're seeing. And I think when we're talking about football being put off, I sort of never actually envisaged that it got to that level, that every single person involved in clubs were going to be without a job, and we don't know how long for. So, you know what, you're right, it's tough, but we've just got to keep our sanity, really, and come out the other side.
Well, this game itself is built, it's basically built on a working class spirit. The game itself, played in the middle, is played by people helping each other for one goal. And I think at the moment, I'd love to get your feedback here on this. This is where, if you can actually help someone, rather than going to grab that extra third or fourth roll of toilet paper you're never going to use, and we've got to keep a little bit of comedy. Go and help. Go be a part of it. Be a part of lending a hand, even if it's an ear for someone going through a tough time.
Well, the thing that'll give you great benefit is mentally too. The feeling of helping someone just gives you so much power. So, I think we're just trying to work out how to help. Just went up and bought the paper, and the shops, people everywhere. I'm sort of thinking the reality is going to hit home soon. I sort of got up this morning and watched the TV and look what happened in New York at the moment and the numbers that are going through New York. So I think we haven't adjusted to the reality of what it's going to be like in about a week's time when isolation is isolation.
And so we need to adapt quickly. Let's talk a bit of footy. There's all sorts of prognostications. There's people talking about that could work, get back in that time, even get back in September. What do you think's workable and what's not?
I think whatever it takes. Simple as that. We can see the effect it's having on rugby league. I think financially they haven't done a fantastic job in setting the code up for a situation like this. I'm not sure if any sport has set their code up for a situation like this. But just whatever it takes, we need to play at some stage without a doubt. I'm gathering from what I hear that the coronavirus will ease at some stage, or we'll see it as something different as we are right now. So I think everyone's in hope of that. But yeah, it's just sort of whatever it takes. And I know there's talk of going to Queensland, talk of starting in September, talk of starting in June. There's people that know more about it than me, but we've just got to do whatever it takes to try to get back to normality.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, when we do come out the other side, there's always, there's always something good out of something bad. I think from a rugby league perspective, looking at itself over this course of time, whatever comes out the other side at club level and a game level, that whole idea of how the finances are managed really needs to tighten up.
Well, what's going to happen is the game will simplify back to the way it was in yesteryear, before clubs had staff of 50 people. When I started, there was a coach, a manager, a trainer, and that was pretty much it. You had a physio that you had to go down the road, and there was a doctor you had to go and wait in his studio. And I think all those external things now that are sort of taking our game to the next level, we might have to have a really good look at that. And I think also from an NRL point of view, you look at the bunker, you look at the expense of a bunker and all those additional costs that go with things that actually aren't necessary for our game to continue. There's so many costs you can save on that angle. So, there's going to be some rugby league people sit down with some accounting people and talk about absolutely what's necessary and what's not necessary. And I think the game's going to take a huge trimming, but I also think the game could come out looking pretty good. I think the game might speed up a little bit and go back to the way the game was maybe in the 80s and 90s. And I think some people tend to agree that it might have been it was easier to watch back then. So anyway, there's going to be some huge changes without a doubt, and we just all got to adapt.
Wade Graham has come out and said that it would be great to get the season started with Origin. Look, and I think ideally that would be great. You know, get out on Broadway and get this Origin series done at the time, and then kick the season out from there. But is that? It sounds good in theory, but is it workable in the sense of these guys having trained but not played?
I've got no idea what's workable. The one thing I do know is football, they're really tough people, so they'll do whatever it takes to get it done. I understand State of Origins, because of the fact is it's very popular. Players love it, the fans love it, everyone loves State of Origin, so it seems to be one of those things that's high on the agenda to get in at some stage. To start the season off with 3 State of Origin games would be pretty incredible. I'm not sure the reality of that, but hopefully we'll speak to Peter Volandis, or I'm sure time will give us the ability to answer more questions. But it would be spectacular. Maybe it's fairyland, but who knows?
We're going to be here with 5 with Freddy for the next few months, or how long it takes, and the back half of our discussion is going to be about fitness. It's going to be about young people. It's going to be about those people at home at the moment who love playing football and they can't play. So what's your message to the 10-year-olds, the 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds that absolutely love it, right? And they're not being allowed to play.
Right, well, that's a tough one, but the absolute key, and what we're dealing with here, is their immune system. So the number one thing to get right for your immune system is your sleep. And the only thing I know, the only secret, it's not a secret, but the only thing that works for me is make sure you go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. And don't stray from that. So I'm a 9:30 type of guy. I like to go to bed at 9:30. I'm pretty much the first in my family to go to bed.
Same here. On the couch usually.
And I'm an up at 5:30 type of guy as well. I like to get up and see the sun come up. So they're my times. But the absolute key, I find, to your immune system and your good mental health, I think, is you need good sleep. Sleep is the key at the moment. So get it right. Get your times right.
Yeah, and that's really important, I think, right across the community. We were talking off air about that, you know, getting the right amount of sleep and nutrition and fitness and health at whatever age you're at. But we'll talk more and more going forward about nutrition and what people eat. But positivity for young people. Football will be played again. You will have that opportunity to try out for that team. You'll have that opportunity to play for your beloved club again.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no doubt. Rugby league will continue. It is one of the great survivors, rugby league, so I'm sure it'll come through this like every other industry. It's just right at the moment, it's pretty sensitive what's happening, and yeah, have faith. So when we do come out the other side, come out strong.
Come out fitter and stronger. That is 5 and a bit more with Freddy this week.